All right, guys. Gonna start talking. We're gonna talk about some wrestling. What's going on in wrestling the past week? First of all, the biggest story to come out last week: Daniel Bryan has been cleared to wrestle in a WWE ring again. And what it was a great SmackDown the other night. He did get involved with an altercation with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, which will probably lead to another match at WrestleMania. Him and Shane McMahon will probably team up and go against Zayn and Owens. Uh, he came out, made the announcement, which it had broke on social media that afternoon. But the crowd was really into it. Hadn't heard a response like that in a long time when he came out, and it gets you excited about wrestling again. It does me at least. I've been very adamant about it's been stale. It's been like a broken record on WWE here lately. Well, maybe this will change things. No coincidence, SmackDown had its best viewership in nearly a year. Probably a better show than what Raw was this past Monday. Looking forward to it's the first time in a long time I've tuned in to watch the first part of SmackDown at 8 o'clock. Looking forward to seeing where to go from here. Looking forward to see Bryan in a ring again. It's been a long time and really missed that. Um, let's talk about one of my favorite podcasts, What Happened When with Tony Schiavone. I know we talked about on the final score of the page that this was done when it was first came up with. It was done to help sell T-shirts and to raise money for Schiavone's daughter's wedding. Well, the wedding was this past weekend. A lot of talk about today would be the last podcast, but they've talked Tony Schiavone into doing it longer. I don't know how much longer, but hopefully for a while. Because I'm telling you guys, if you're a fan of the WCW Crockett era of wrestling, the '80s and the '90s of Crockett wrestling, and WCW, they made the mistakes, but still fun to watch. This is the podcast for you. You need to watch What Happened When with Tony Schiavone. It comes out on Mondays. Like I said before, I think we may have not talked about it on the YouTube page, but they do some days they do like a Mystery Science Theater version. They'll watch a pay-per-view and they'll have you cue it up at the same time they start watching it, and you follow along. And a lot of times they make fun of some things that go on, and that's what makes it great. You find out a lot of stuff that you didn't know. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know that I found out through watching it. Just great. Conrad Thompson does a great job with that podcast. He's like the pod father of podcasts. He's got something to wrestle with Bruce Prichard, who used to be Brother Love in WWE. They come out on Fridays. That's another good one. I listen to that every Friday. I listen to this one every Monday. Just go check it out. I think it's MLWradio.com is what puts it out. Go check them out. And like I said, they've got the archives of they've also got YouTube pages, Something to Wrestle With, and What Happened When. I've got YouTube pages that have the archives of the past episodes of it. And if you enjoy the one you listen to, go listen to the rest of them. They do different topics every week. It's great. Great stuff, guys. Let's move on. Talk about Braun Strowman. Wins the Tag Team Battle Royal the week. This was the week before last on Raw. He wins the Tag Team Battle Royal, which I didn't think was a good idea because you got one guy destroying your whole tag team division. You don't make your tag teams look weak like that. But what do I know? But he's been told now he has to pick a partner. A lot of talk the partner might be Elias. They've had their battles. I'm not sure if it's Elias. I'm not sure if you want to make Elias like a babyface yet. He's getting a lot of heat, and I think he's definitely one of the best up and coming. He's going to make a big name for himself and win some titles in WWE because he's definitely impressive so far. A lot of people talking about Big Show. I don't know. Big Show's ready to hang it up. We'll just have to wait and see on that. But Vince doesn't. I talk about the tag team division. Vince doesn't like pushing the tag teams anymore, and that may be why he does that. He's never really liked to. Next thing, Bray Wyatt. He is he was deleted by the Hardys on Raw last, and a a lot of talk backstage about them changing up Wyatt's character. Uh, my opinion, that's a mistake. You're gonna change up somebody that has a character that can carry on a good promo, gets the crowd into it. Almost turned babyface before he got injured a couple years ago, but can really carry a promo. It gets people into it. If they don't love him, they love to hate him, and that's what you look for in a heel. But you're gonna push a guy that can't talk, that kicks, punches, and does his suplex city. And Brock Lesnar is hardly ever there, but you're gonna push that guy over a guy that can actually carry a promo, and I don't agree with that. And I know, that's my opinion, and that's how I've been for a long time about Brock Lesnar. Let's go on. Hulk Hogan in talks with WWE. WWE's come out and said they've talked to him about making a comeback since he was fired there from a couple years ago. He fired from WWE for making some comments that shouldn't have been made. Not the best for his image or anybody's image. In talks to come back, possibly, Hillbilly Jim had made the comment after he was told he was chosen for the Hall of Fame that he would love for Hogan to induct him. This comes out after that. Possibly it could have something to do with that. Possibly make an appearance at WrestleMania. You'd love to see Hogan back, because he kind of made WrestleMania. He made WWE. He was what launched his popularity out of the roof. He was there for the first WrestleMania. Everybody remembers WrestleMania 3 with him slamming Andre. Hogan needs to be in a wrestling ring, and WWE is probably where he's at. Everybody knows about WCW, the NWO stuff, but Hogan's a WWE guy, so probably need to get him back in the ring. And what better place than WrestleMania? Now with the Hall of Fame, most of the class of the Hall of Fame's come out now, and they're starting to announce the people they're going to induct them. Nothing more fitting than who the Dudleys have chose to induct them. Had some battles with them and the Hardys, like at table ladder chairs matches. Edge and Christian will be inducting the Dudleys into the Hall of Fame. And the only thing that would make it more perfect would be for the Hardys to somehow be there with Edge and Christian to induct them, because with the battles they had over the years, that would just be fit. Everybody remembers SummerSlam in Raleigh. I forget the year. That tables ladders match, three-way match with Hardys, Edge and Christian and the Dudleys. That was a brutal match, but it was one of the greatest tag team matches you've ever seen. It was back and forth, back and forth. Loved it. I've always been a fan of tag team wrestling over singles wrestling. I've just preferred that over the singles wrestling, just because it's more exciting. It takes it up to another level of excitement with two guys, and the crowd's into it more, in my opinion. But just my opinion, I prefer tag team wrestling. It just doesn't get pushed enough these days in WWE. I also want to send out well wishes and prayers to WWE and WCW legend Big Van Vader. A lot of people know he's had some health problems over the last couple of years. The doctors told him he wouldn't be around for much longer, and he's defied the odds. He's still here, but he put on his Twitter this past week that he is having open heart surgery. It's supposed to be today in Texas. Haven't seen any updates, but I will keep you updated on it. And we just want to send prayers out, well wishes. Hope you guys will say a prayer for Big Van Vader that he comes through this open heart surgery. Next thing we're going to talk about, the Geordie Bulldogs. I don't know if a lot of you know, they're former Rage tag team champions, Mark, Sean, Denny. But one of the things they do, they make these Geordie Bulldogs masks. They light up. There's different designs on them. I think Sean does them. If you go on to the Final Score Facebook page and scroll down a little bit, you'll see they had a custom request to make a mask for none other than one half of the legendary tag teams, the Road Warriors, Hall of Fame tag team, one of the greatest of all time, and he requested a custom-made mask from them. What an honor that was! And if you get a chance to watch the Bulldogs, They're one of the up and coming tag teams. They've been around for a little while, but they can definitely make it on the next level. I've witnessed several of their matches against Extreme Horsemen, the Heat Seekers. What a match that was! They always put on a good show, and I think they can make it to the next level. So if they come to your area, or if you're thinking about going to a Rage event and you see them there, definitely come and check them out. I promise you won't be disappointed. Last thing we'll talk about is the little spot that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar did this past Monday on Raw. And if you didn't see it, the week before, Reigns had been suspended by McMahon for making comments about Lesnar not being there and Lesnar being McMahon's boy. And he was suspended, not supposed to be on Raw till the suspension was lifted. He shows up on Raw this past Monday night, gets in the ring, says he's not going to leave. He gets arrested by security, handcuffed, and next thing you know, Lesnar comes out and puts a beating on him. But, you're a tough guy, WWE champion, UFC fighter, toughest man in the business, has to beat down a guy with handcuffs on. I know it's a spot and all that, but is that really how you want your tough guy, your champion, to be built up as big as he is, and that he has to take a guy down as handcuffed? I don't think you want to build up your champion like that. But I'm just ready for Lesnar to be gone from WWE. He's coming to shows when he wants to. I guess the 30-day rule is no longer in effect for defending championships. But I'm not a big Lesnar fan. I just think the guys that are there every week deserve to get a push more than a guy that's there once a month and can't talk, can't cut a promo. But that's just my opinion. And guys, I appreciate y'all watching. This is my YouTube page. Check me out on Facebook, The Final Score. Hit me up with your opinions. If you don't agree with something I said, or you do agree, let me know. Love to talk wrestling, football, any kind of sports with you. Just give me a hit on my Facebook page, like it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I appreciate all y'all for watching and checking out my YouTube page. That's The Final Score, guys.